han som det handlar om och sen så har ju han svarat med att jag har inte gjort någonting av moral i förutsättningar och sådana saker. Men allting är borttaget.
Det är så fint när man gör det där.
Det blir liksom...
Dela med sig.
Okej.
Alla länder som tog hem folk nu.
Okay. I'm just gonna close the door. This okay. This is the document for installing XAMPP and on your machines. And just one quick note: if I go this is on Mac, so this should be capital XAMPP. So not small caps, large caps, caps lock up. So I'll change that. So where were we? We were somewhere like this. And I'm gonna do, before we move on, we're gonna stick here with the Lotto page, I think.
Did you start the record?
Did I? Yes, I think I did. Thank you. Stop recording, yes. So, let's go. How should we write this code then? And my suggestion here was separate your program. It's a separations of concerns. So let's separate it. Despite we having both programs in the same file currently, we actually don't have that when we do nicer programs, larger programs. But for now we have. But still we try to separate it. So we start with a programming section at the top. And then we end with an printout section at the bottom. So then the aim up here is to, it's basically the same flow that we sort of had in the Node.js Express server. We have a callback there. And then we did some coding. We added up everything into a variable, data. And then we took that data and we sort of sent it to the view to be rendered. So that was sort of a structured way of doing it. But we try to mimic that here. So it's actually here we try to add every variables that we can here on the top, here. And then we'll render them down here. Just separation of concerns in our mind for now. And we have a Lotto there. We have, I think, 6, 7, okay. And let's print them out down here. Yes, let's print them out. So, how can we print out stuff that to make it look nice in the web page? And this is 2 views of your PHP coding. So on top, programming style, coding, any programming language we are used to. And here we are script style. So here I would do a thing like, okay, I'm gonna, what should I do? Let's make a table or list. No, just make a list here. So I'm gonna do a list and I'm gonna put out all the I'm gonna put out the Lotto's numbers here. I'm gonna have, so I have a Lotto number there. I need a loop then. So let's add a loop. Script style PHP I call it. Like this. And I'm gonna use for each. I'm gonna use for each. What am I going? I'm going to loop through the Lotto. for each lotto as $number. And I'm going to use a slightly different style on how to code PHP down here. PHP and for each, like that. Let's tap it in. There we go. Okay. So this is a PHP statement there. And there is a PHP statement. Let's end it also. There we go. And this part will be looped. And I'm going to print out a lotto row like this one. Very similar to the one we saw on EGS Friday. Number. There we go. So let's see how this works. Save. Let's go. Reload. Start page. Wow! Unexpected. Let's read it. Unexpected. Expecting this one. Semicolon. Lotto 27. Let's go. Lotto 27. So what? Unexpected. Okay. Let's see if that works better. Oh, much better. That's the way how to do it. Okay. So we have a lotto. And just see how we're doing. These programs might sort of be a bit big after a while. So now that we have this sort of nice separated way of working, we could have lotto.php. I will try and separate them like this. So I take all that part here and I move that onto what I call view. So remember what we did last Friday with Node.js. So now we have a view. Now we have an HTML document instead, and we call these things a view. We usually call them views or templates, but let's call them a view. So this view, only intention is to sort of write up the lotto number, so it will hopefully have a lotto there as an array. Okay. And how, this is then my page then. It's a page controller, we could call it. It's a page controller. It's the single entry point for the page and it will render everything. So it will do prepare the lotto and it will require the view. So view slash lotto.php is the name of the view. There we go. And to make it a bit more secure, I want to do a dir that is actually adding the whole path of this current script onto that. So I get an absolute search path instead. In this particular case, it's exactly, more or less exactly the same as doing this. But it's a tiny bit better to do this absolute stuff, less prone to faults. So, okay. So we're gonna open up the lotto again. Okay. Let's remove this outside just to ensure that we are actually seeing the latest stuff there. Lotto page. There we go. So, lotto page. Yeps. Okay. Much better code. Separate in a page controller. Sort of taking in the request, preparing everything into variables. And once that is done, leave it up to a view instead, and there you actually just print out the content of the variables, so you sort of work with them. And the view looks like that. It's just sort of separating the code. Don't make it too hard. Don't put everything in one sort of file. Okay? And I think we stay here once more. We'll be able to do the database stuff later on. It's better to have the basic understanding on how it actually works first. Then database connection is just, well, connecting and working. By the way, have you programmed an external application program to your database? Which language? Did you, when you had the database course, you connected with Java? Okay, yeah, good. Okay, and so I want to sort this. If I want to sort this, we haven't been at the PHP sort array. I want to go there. Sorting arrays, php.net. So we have the, wow, a hit. I'm going to try to sort my array. Could I do it in a quick and friendly way without completely reading all this? Sort value, sort array, and then I have some optional stuff. Sort regular, bool. Let's see what it says. Sort numeric. Maybe. Let's see if I can do this. Well, let's just look a bit more. Sort an array. This is a sends in the array, and this one sorts the actual array in place. So it doesn't return a new array, it will sort it in place. So it will mix with my actual array. So let's see if this works. Sort Lotto. And let's see. Let's run it. Run. Oops. Just going to go there. Yes, it's somehow sorted. I got a 9. Yeah, maybe I could fix that some. Or we'll leave that to you. And maybe it's like that to get 8 numbers perhaps. So I can sort. So the PHP reference manual, best place to know how to PHP actually works. And you will get a view like this. This is how the functions or classes or whatever are described, how to use it. So, okay. One thing that we might want to work with when we do this is the we're going to post stuff here later on. So we're going to use HTML forms, and that is fill in data in the browser on client side and post them onto the server side. I guess did you do kind of that stuff when you worked with an REST API? Posted things onto the server? Maybe, yeah. So let's see. So if I'm going to continue work here and I'm going to send my Lotto row, so I just add row here equals, and I'm going to send, I guess it will be 9 like this, dot 33.35. So I get a Lotto row up there. So how can I grab that from the query string and sort of check if my guessed lotto row is how it compares to the actual row. So then I must get the data from the query string, and so we call it user row, we said, and it's equal to $_get. There we go. And what was the name of the it was row. There we go. So there are some built-in arrays here, global arrays, and the $_get is loaded with a query string. So we could, really good to print out stuff when we don't know what they are what they are containing. And echo pre makes it easier to debug. So let's see. Here, I reload this page. Yeah. So I printed out the $_get. It's an array of 1. It's a key value array. I can add more stuff here in the query string. A and B and C equals 42. So everything is sent into the page. And this is the same behavior if we are in PHP, Node.js, ASP.NET later on. What differs is just how the sort of stuff is get into the script. And here we do it like this. So remove those. Okay, I got it in an array. I know that. Then just a quick note, what happens if I get to the page first and I sort of forget to put up the query string there. I will somehow get an undefined index, apparently undefined index row on line 6. Let's go to line 6. Line 6. Yeah, so it's saying there is no row here. So it's no query string with that key. Okay, and I want to make my web page a bit resilient. So if there is no, this is something called null coalesce operator. They are available in databases and in other languages also. So if there is no row in the query string, just give me an empty array or null. Doesn't matter. I can have an empty array for now. So then it will sort of, yeah, worked. Nice. Okay. $row, go and do the there we go. So now we need to we have user row now. So maybe we should be able to print it out also. Let's go to the here we go. The user row is, and how should we print it out, the user row, in a nice and friendly way? Well, we could do I think we could do a print R, maybe. It's also a kind of debugging thing, printing the recursive and user row like that. Let's see how that works. The user row down there, yes. So it's printing in a nice way. I think I can also do, it's explode or it implode. Let's look it up. It's a way to sort of take all the array elements, put them in a string instead, or vice versa. And I can never remember what is what. So let's go. PHP implode. Implode. Join array elements with a string. Yes, this is the one. So I have include, I have a string with a glue, I have array with pieces. So the glue first, then the pieces, and it will return a string value. Okay, array pieces, array, and let's have the glue could look like this then. There we go. So implode this array separated with this string and make it look a bit like implode. Warning. Ooh. What did I do wrong now? 9. Invalid arguments. String array. Implode. Implode. String array. What did I know? User row. User row. Let's print it as a P instead. It doesn't matter. So what do I do wrong here now? Implode. String user row. Let's see. Save. Run. Invalid arguments passed. Ha. Okay. So then I really don't know. User row. Implode. String. User row. Let's debug it like I would. Let's go to the source. Here we go. I'll see. So I said I would have a I would have the dollar user row there, wouldn't I? One. There we go. So I have a user row. Let's see if I can try and debug it. There is a user row, okay, yes, thank you. I could see that it actually is an array. Var dump. It's an array, let's see. It's a string. Yeah, okay. It's a string. Okay, so we go back then. Yeah. How could we imagine that that would be an array? It's a string. So the query string we get here, this, yeah, since everything is stored in this, like, it's a key value object. But the value I send in here, it's just a comma separated string, so it's nothing more, nothing that turns that up to an array. So, but maybe I would like it to be an array. So how could I do it as an array in that case? Let's do that. User row. So let's explode it instead. So let's do explode. Let's see how explode works. Explode it. Split a string by a string. So we have a delimiter and we have the string. Okay. And we will get the array as a return value. So there we have an array let's just put an array. We can have two variables for this. What did I say? I said delimiter string. There we go. So let's see if this actually turns out to be an array also. You see that I love the see out way of doing development. So there we go. Yes, there is an array. And now let's remove everything debugging, and there we go. Let's remove debugging. User row array. And then we have something like that. Okay. The user row is like that. Okay. We will leave the Lotto example now. The main importance that we take with us from this, when we do these PHP pages now, is that we have this PHP code and we call it a page controller. So it's the actual entry point. The browser goes to this page first. We try to do the code needed. Could be to connect to a database, or it will be after lunch. We connect to the database. Prepare all the content into variables. And then what we do there is actually just including another file. So we are including the content from that file, and it will continue to parse that. And there we write it out as an HTML page instead. And we call that a view. So let's take the 10 last minutes to see how would we do with our report page if we're going to do that PHP based instead. And that is part of the assignment, so could be good to see it. So I'm going to duplicate this for the fun. Labeling is report.php, and now I have report.php. So how can I use this knowledge of PHP, how to divide into files, separate, doing require or include them? It's the same thing. Here. You know, some of you asked me, why do we really have to have this, like this type of content? It's the same on all my HTML files. Can't I sort of separate them into one footer that includes? And maybe I said, yeah, there are actually one point you can do shared SHTML, shared HTML. But you need to configure a web server to do that. But that is having like this, sort of getting that file. Let's just cut it and then make a new folder, and we call it views. View. We call it view, and we add a file that we call footer.php. Yes, and then we put it down in there. So now we have a footer, and I go back to my HTML file. Could be good to rename it, right? So let's rename it to PHP instead. And at the bottom here, we do a PHP, and we do a require of the view/footer.php and end of story. There we go. And we have this. It's relative my current directory. It's so much easier to know where you are in the tree structure if you do it like that. Okay. So there we go. Let's see if it worked. I am in work. I am in there, and I go like this, and I do it like work. I go to work report about PHP, yes, and I have a footer there, nice, okay. So now I can have like this, I have me.html. Let's remove everything here. Yeah, and of course save it as PHP. Yes. There we go. And we do the same on report. I just rename that to PHP. PHP. And do report at the bottom. So I should perhaps reload them that see that it actually works, but my report page, yeah, it's now labeled PHP. Okay, so yeah, and the footer is there. Well, more or less, it's a footer there. Section. No, yeah, perhaps I didn't close the article there.
Yeah, article and HTML.
I think, let's hope that it was only the article, perhaps. Yep, yeah, at that case. Okay, so let's see then. We have all this also. But now we got the, okay, I got the hang of it. I know what you, yeah. I know where you're going. Okay, so let's create another one then. Create a new file. Let's call it a header.php. So we're actually just separating the whole program into different files. And now they are PHP in the navbar section there. And so if I then take this one, I put it on the top. I have a header. And I save it and I copy it. And we do the same for all the files just to get some kind of, oops. Well, not really that. Let's see what we did. Report. Copy, save, about. Remove this. We have another header. There we go. And we have me also. Remove the header. Header. There we go. Okay. So if I go to the page, perhaps I could go to me now. me.php. Now we start. So I reload. Let's see the footer down there. So I go to me, report. Yes, I have a footer. About. About. This one. You saw that error message. You know what? When we get these error messages, always take the top one, solve the top one, just ignore the rest. Solve that, fix it, and then reload the page. And eventually the other ones will most likely to disappear. So did I do it here? Yeah, I missed a slash there. And there we reload and we have a nice footer. So this is also somehow separations of concerns. We are separating the header from the footer. We're building up a web page in different small parts. So we could call each part is that it's the header view. It's the footer view. It's the main content. So we're getting a terminology. And if I would do, look there, this is the report page. Everything is labeled the report page from up here now. So that is not really what I would like it to be. And you know, this header part, this header here, well, it has, everything is static besides this one. Report from the course sections. So this is one where I would sort of need to write out sort of a page title. Okay, so I have a page title. So I sort of, it's making this header to be a tiny customized form from the each individual page controller. Page title equals about. Whoops. About. Okay. So now I have the about there. So if I would go into all the pages like me and setting up the same structure there, I can do it like, well, like we did in the Lotto. Having a sort of we are declaring the variable and it will be available when we includes that file. And we could now sort of see, here's the report, it says up there, and I reload it, and now it says me. And it says about there, report. So we take lunch on that and continue with the database after lunch. Okay? Thank you.